Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video here we successfully get all the data. So that is our method as a student register edit, and here we have to successfully get this data and also we have checked it, right? So right now we get this data from our assigned student table, we get this data from our user table and also from the discount table. So for the reasons here I have already created that relation with our user table and the discount table. So right now we can get this data from our discount table, student table, and then our assigned student table. Perfect. And also we have a load our edit page, that means our student edit. So that is our student edit, right? So now we have to visible all the data. That means if you want to visible it, we have to visible it with using that value. Remember? So now simple work, that is our student name. So this student name will be come from our which table? This student name will be comes from our user table, right? And that is a student name, father name, everything will be comes from our user table. So now better I put on the value, and into the value area first of all I get all the data. And pass it with our this edit data, right? So to the edit data I pass it in our student edit page. So now go there. So now with this edit data, so with this edit data, if you want to visible that name, that means our user table name. So with our user table I have also created the relation with our this student, right? And also here I pass it with this student and the discount. So now with this student I want to display it. That will be as a first of all that will be our student, and then into the student area I want to get our field name. If you go to our user table and into the user table, better I go to that structure. So that is our field name as a name, right? So now I want to visible that name. Perfect. So that's all you have to do. Now if you click as a save all and now go there, now refresh it, now it should be display that name. Yeah, you can see it's perfectly display this name. That means our specific 21 ID name. And now that will be the same procedure we have to apply for our father's name, mother's name, mobile number, address. So that will be the same. Better I copy this value. I copy total value and then here I paste it. And also that will be the mother's name. That will be as a mobile number. That will be as a address, right? And then the gender. So first of all I want to display our father name. With this student I have already created that relation. So if you go to our user table, our father name, field name as a F name, right? I copy it. That will be as a F name, and then the mother name will be as a M name, and then there is a mobile number or field name as a mobile, right? So with this student I display that mobile, and then the address. So that will be as an address. I copy it. So that will be our address. So now if you click as a save all, and to check it fast, is a refresh. Yeah, that is a father name, that is a mother name, perfectly loaded. Mobile address is loaded, address is loaded, and there is a gender. And gender will be the same. Here only you have to put one of the condition which I have discussed about a lot of the time, because that should be as a selected, right? So after that mail, better here I put that things on particular that area, and then I want to do here only we have to add one of the condition, right? So I just simply add that condition. You can also set it. If you want to set it, then you have to add that as a @ okay? So right now it's okay with me. I want to make it as a edit. That means same actually. So that will be our edit data. So now with this edit data I want to access as a same. That will be same. Better I copy it, okay? I copy it and here I paste it. Okay, so into the first bracket, and that is with this edit data, and that is I have already created that relation to the user because gender is in our user, right? So with this student I want to access our field name. In our user, that is the gender. So I copy it. That will be as a gender, right? So when this gender will be same as a equal, that will when it will be as a male. Okay, that means when it will be as a male, then it will be selected. So after that I want to add that will be as a question mark, and that will be as a selected. Okay, I am using actually single quote. You can also use that double quote, is not a matter. So that is our selected. Else it should be nothing. That means the empty. Okay, perfect. And then also you have to do the same things. I copy it, and then that will be for the female. And for the female, when it will be with this student, I want to access that gender field, and when it will be as a female, then it will be as selected, else it will be as a empty. Okay, that means empty. Now click as a save all. So now it should be selected. Now click as a refresh. Yeah, you can see it's now selected as a male, right? And also you have to do the same things for our religion. So that is religion is also comes from our user table, and you can see that is actually a religion. So now better I copy it. Okay, I copy total things from here, and then that is our religion. That is actually the 3 option. So better I put it on here, and after that Islam, that will be one, that will be another one, that will be another one. So right now our field name as a religion, right? So you can see that is actually the religion. I copy it, that will be as a religion, and religion. When it will be as a Islam, that will be as a selected, rather than it will be as a empty. When it will be as a Hindu, it will be selected. When it will be as a Christian, then it will be as a selected rather than empty. Perfect. Now click as a save all, and now go there, and now if you refresh it, yeah, now you can see our religion is now selected, right? So now also we have to display that date is also comes from our user table. So that means that is a our date, right? So that will be the name. So better I want to copy it. I copy that things from here. That will be as one of the value. I copy this value, and then in our date of birth here also, that will be in our student, into the student, that is our field name as a date of birth, right? Because I've always used that same name. If you go to your database table, you can see that is a DOB. Okay, so now our date of birth should be as a selected. Now if you click as a save all, and now go there, click as a refresh, yeah, date of birth is now perfectly selected. And then our discount. So this the discount actually comes from our which table? This now comes from our this discount table, right? So from the discount table, that is our discount. So I have already created that relation. That will be not a issue. So that will be just like that same. Better I copy it, and then in our discount value here I paste it. So that will be our method. I have already created that relation with our discount student table with the discount, right? And also here I checked it with the discount. So now with this discount I want to visible. Okay, with this discount I want to visible our field name also as a discount, right? If you go, you can see that the field name is also as a discount. So right now our discount should be loaded. Now if you want to check it, if you can check, let us save all and refresh it. Yeah, you can see it's now perfectly getting our 21 ID as a 10. And then the year, class, and the group. So that's all that actually comes from our this assign. That means the assign student table. So here we have to do that is our selected for the year, right? So here we don't need to do anything. That will be same as we did that before. So I put it, I get all the data with our this edit student, right? So now with this edit student, I want to do with this edit student, make the sure add this $sign. So with this edit student, I want to access our field name. If you go, our field name as a year ID, group ID, shift ID, and the class ID. So for the year, that will be as a year underscore ID. Year underscore ID. So this year ID will be equal with our this. I have already for each it with this years as a year, right? So that will be our year field ID. When it will be match, right? When it will be match, then it will be as a selected. So I make it as a selected, else it will be as a empty. Okay. So else it will be as empty. That's all. Okay, that's all. It should be now loaded. I click on the save all, and then refresh it. Yeah, you can see it's now selected as a 2019. And same as also you have to update that class, group, and the shift, because every field actually comes from our this assign student table. So that will be same. Okay, that will be the same. Better I want to do and to copy it. I copy this condition and then I want to apply it for our classes. So that will be the same. That will be also the same, and the shift, that will be also the same, right? So now only we have to update it. So I have updated that for our year, and that with this year I want to access our ID. So for the classes, that name is a class ID, class underscore ID, right? And when this class ID will be matched with our this class ID, so that will be our this class ID. Okay, then that will be selected, and then else it will be empty. Same as for the group, so that is actually our group ID. So this group ID actually means, as I told you, that is our database field group ID. You can see the group ID is group ID and the shift ID. So when it will match with our this group ID, then it will be selected, else it will be null. And then same as for our shift, shift will be, I name it at the name as a shift ID. When it will be equal to with our this shift ID, then it will be selected and it will be null. Perfect. Now click as a save all, and now if you go there, click as a refresh. Yeah, our year is selected, class is selected, group is selected, and also for a specific this 21 ID, our shift is also selected. And also here, if you want to display this existing, that exactly Rohim, so this existing student picture, if you want to visible, so that is in our user, right? So into the user, there are also one of the field that is image. So if you want to visible it, you can also visible it. Okay, if you want to visible that things on here, that means our existing one, then that is actually our src, right? That is upload, that is our default one is visible. So that will be just like our in our profile, maybe in our user. If you go to that user edit profile, here maybe I use it. Yes, you can see there is the src, and that is our actually total things. Okay, so perfect. So better I copy it. I copy total src, and then in our student edit, student into the student edit. Here I have already discussed about that things with your friend. So when it will be not null, so right now I get of pass all the data with our edit data, right? So that will be only updated as edit data, and then our field name is the same. And then our URL will be upload, not the user image. So I have uploaded all that file. If you go to our project, if you go to the public and do the upload, and that is our all that student file, right? So now I copy it. So that will be our student images, and then also with this edit data, I want to access our image. That means our image field data. And then our URL, and then our URL in our upload and no image. That means our default image will be visible, right? Perfect. So here one things also we have to do, have to get this data from our which table? We have to get this data from our user table, right? So if you want to access this user table, also here we have to update it. That means we have to access our this image field with our student method, right? So it not should be worse. So here we have to update it. It will be just like same. That means first of all here we have to add that our student, because with this student we can actually able to access our field, that means our image field, and then that will be our field name as image, right? So that is actually our image, that is our image field. Perfect. Okay, and also we have to do the same things, we have to apply the same things for our this position. So I simply updated it. That will be with this edit data, and then our student, with this student I have already created one of the relation with our user table, so that will be our method, right? And with this user method I want to access our student user table image field. Perfect. Okay, I hope friend it's very much clear to you. So now let's check this out. If you now click as a save all, and now it should be display. Now click as a refresh. Yes, you can see it's now perfectly displayed this student picture. And also now if you want to search our student, if you go to our student registration, so that is our default one, we have checked it. So now I search and another one, class 1 to the 2020. Yeah, they have some of the student. If you now click as edit, yes, you can see it's now perfectly getting that student details, everything, right? And also that is if you go to that another one as a class 2 2020, click as a search, perfectly loaded. Now click as edit. So there is a Leah, everything is now great, right friend? So here we successfully get all the data. So right now we get some of the data from the user table, some of the data from our discount table, and also some of the data get from our assigned student table, right? So now we have to update. So how can update it? Better I want to continue this process. In our next video I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.